Okay, so that's the Summertime walking bass line. Now we're going to talk about what elements we put in a walking bass line on a jazz song. So there's a few things we can use on each chord. We can use the chord tones, we can use the scale tones. We want to use the leading note on the fourth beat, just going back into the next chord. So we want to be one semitone below, or one semitone above, or one scale tone below, maybe, you know, 2 frets away. Above or below also sounds good. Sometimes even coming from the fifth, and then fifth of that new chord that you're going into would sound good. We want to link them smoothly normally, and we've got those chromatic descending runs, and ascending runs sound good. Yeah, it's kind of important to know the scales for each chord. For example, when we do this A7 flat 13, we've kind of jumped out of the D minor / F major key, a secondary dominant it's called, and that means we want to play the chord tones from that chord rather than what would be normally an A minor in that key. That's not going to fit over that chord. Let's run through the chords quickly of that song. So we've got D minor 7, E half diminished, A7 flat 13, D minor 7, D7 sharp 9, G minor 7, invert that to a B flat 6, back to E minor 7 flat 5 or E half diminished, A7 flat 13, back to D minor 7, again E half diminished, A7 flat 13, D minor 7, G minor 7, C9, F major 7, E minor 7 flat 5, A7 flat 13, and back to D minor 7, and then you might want to put a turn around on there. Maybe E minor 7, back to D minor 7. So these chords are for the main part within the D minor scale. That shares all the same chords and the same notes as the F major scale. So the first scale we would use is D Aeolian. For that D minor chord. Because D Aeolian, same as F Ionian, same notes. So we want to be choosing, if we're going to choose scale tones, we want to go down the scale. But we want to end up on this E half diminished. So often the first beat is the bass note, the and of the first beat is the chord. Then you'll have on 2 and 3 you'll have a couple of notes which might be chord tones. They could be the 5th, for example there. They could be the 7th. Then you'll have a leading note on the 4th beat. So the leading note might be above or below. It might be 1 fret below, 1 fret above, or it might be a scale tone below or above. So if we're going to that E, you could go so you're leading in from the D back to the E, or you could go we're leading with the F down to the E. So the F's going to sound particularly good because it's in the scale and it's 1 fret away, just 1 fret above the E, which we're targeting. That was another one I did. So it's a little bit of a big jump, like a leap from that B flat up to the F. But it sounds good still. You might go down. So we've got E half diminished and we've got an A7 flat 13. So we go. So that's it for the E half diminished. That's a chord tone, a flat fifth. It leads nicely into the A. Then we get the major third, the natural third. On the A, so we've got root and third, which of course leads nicely back into the D. You might think, oh well, that's not in the scale, but it's the, if you're playing the harmonic minor, it's that leading note going back into the D. So that sounds good. Go back to another D minor 7 through those options. Then we've got a D7 sharp 9. So on this one I just went 5th, root, 5th, then a little chromatic run. So I'm going root, 5th, so 5th, root, 5th, chromatic notes leading to the G minor. Then I'm going up the G minor scale. So you could call that the Dorian mode. The notes I play are actually would fit in Aeolian as well, but in this key it's Dorian. Then we go to this B flat 6. I'm just playing the simple arpeggio, root 3, 5, back down to 3. And then, so that's leading into the E, but from a scale tone rather than just from one fret below. And on that one I was playing something like, so yeah, I was playing scale tone, chromatic note, chord tone, or scale tone and scale tone. So that obviously leads nicely into the A because you're chromatically running down. This time A third, flat 6, 5th, because we're doing this flat. We've got the flat 6 there, the F, or flat 13 because it's up an octave. So, and that kind of encloses, you've heard of enclosures, it encloses that D. You really sort of feel the pull coming to it. You've gone below, you've gone above, you've gone a bit more, or down one step, or 1/2 step to be precise, and then back to the D. The D minor, E half diminished again. Going to the G minor, I just played the chord of those two because there's a lot going on in that bar. Then we're into F major 7. So then we got open, which is the 3rd, the 5th, root, and that allows us to get back up to this area. We use that same E half diminished, A7, so we're not playing the chord on the A7, just playing the root in the 3rd, back to D minor, and that's the end. I hope that's useful, and I will see you in the next video.